Yeah, yeah.
So
What's up?
we are matching up the WWF in 1985 when the expansion was taking off versus the last of the territories in the CWA in 1985. For those who don't know, CWA is also known as Memphis.
Yeah, yeah.
No, and I made this forever long ago, so I'm literally just remembering everything I made. So,
No, no, but I guarantee you I'd want Dave Brown on there somewhere.
I can't. It would be like cosplay. I was like 4 years old when this was happening. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
a coked out, right?
I think Lance Russell might be an option too. So that would have been an interesting trio of Dave, Lance, and Vince. CWA, Continental Wrestling Association.
So what does continental mean in this juncture? Is that like the continental breakfast, or I think we were only on North America with this card for what I could see.
Don't quote me on this as a fact, but I believe Continental has something to do with the geographical location of where they covered.
All right. Well, the more you know.
Kaplan, kaplan, kaplan. Yeah, absolutely. So I picked the two probably loudest, brashest guys I could think of to have a good fist fight, start things off, of Eddie Gilbert and Rowdy Piper. Like the promos between those two guys would have been something special. I'm gonna go with Roddy.
I mean, if you're booking Roddy, you're booking him to win. He didn't really like to lose, from my
Yeah, that's
understanding.
true too.
A Canadian
I think
madman.
wasn't he a madman like all the time? he he just lived the gimmick. What was that show they had when they were all sorry? What was that show that they had where they had all those dudes in the house together? It was like
Legends
Piper and
House?
Mean Gene.
Yeah,
What was?
Legends House.
Oh yeah.
I'd actually, if there's anybody listening who hasn't seen Legends House, I 100% recommend that series. It is amazing.
That shit's wild.
It is.
I mean, Rocky was a tag team champion. George Animal Steel headlined a bunch of B or C shows. I think like he was a draw. Like there's no taking that away from him.
Undertaker just told a story about him that I heard about how, I guess everybody that smoked weed would go to like the back of the bus, but he's like, don't. He's like, if George comes back here, don't hit it unless he hits it first. And I guess he came wandering back to the bus, and somebody offered it to him, and he's like, oh, I don't really. But then he as soon as he fucking that shit hit his lips, everybody was started lighting up. They all waited for him to hit it first before they all lit up and shit.
He was a teacher. I can only imagine what it would be like to walk into class one day. George Animal Steel is your teacher.
Right. My opening match is a Memphis street fight with Roddy Piper versus Jerry the King Lawler. The stipulation is falls count anywhere. For the finish, I have Lawler blinds Piper with a handful of powder, hitting his tights, smashes a wooden chair over his back, and then hits a pile driver on the concrete floor near the concession stand for the pin. So the winner would be Jerry Lawler.
Solid. Well, because of the position that I was put in with these rosters, I had no choice but to go all old man wrestling with this stuff. So I asked my girl if there was any wrestlers that she really liked, and we had a look, and so we decided to do Adrian Adonis versus Tommy Rich. Now, mind you, the gimmick they're running here is the adorable one. I don't think they were doing the adorable gimmick back then. I'm pretty sure that he was doing the a Rob Halford leather daddy a gimmick at that juncture. But I do love Adrian Adonis because of his adorable one persona. That is why I picked him. And Tommy Rich, well, is for an opener, right? So you got to have somebody take the fall.
I mean, if there's cocaine there, Tommy Rich will be there.
It's true. It's true. This is a very coke heavy pay-per-view.
Oh, absolutely.
It's 1985 for crying out loud. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's a solid opener though. Adrian Adonis is going over though. There's just no other way. Even though he's arguably the better seller out of the two, but still, gotta put my boy over. We're doing favors. We're doing favors here today, guys. That's right. We did it, didn't we? So in order to come up with something unique, we had to be able to improvise a little bit and think on our feet. So I thought, why don't we do an intergender match between the Crusher, Leilani Kai, and exotic Adrian Street, who, by the way, was known to have intergender matches all the time during this period. So yeah, there's a first for the fantasy wrestling throwback, an intergender women's match.
Nah, I beat you to that, man. I had Cornette in one of them.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, I gotta say, yeah, there actually was not a lot of options for women. So it's Leilani Kai. Yeah, she was at WWF. She was also kind of a crusher in Japan too, though. So that's why I thought it'd be cool to have her go over on him with like a shoulder tackle or some shit. Because it's 1985. You got to book it like it's 1985.
You hit him in the balls when the ref's back is turned.
Right, like an atomic.
Yes, atomic drop. Perfect.
Atomic drop, yeah. Atomic drop in a pin. And the ref's like, check the shoulders 1, check the shoulders 2, check the shoulders 3. Right? Yeah, the slowest.
All right. I got women's chain and cage hybrid match, which is Wendy Richter versus Candy Divine. The stipulation is a steel cage plus chain match. Winner must either escape or pin. So for the finish, both women are bleeding. Richter locks Divine in a Boston Crab with the chain wrapped around her face. But Divine yanks Richter into the cage, busts her open further, then escapes over the top of the cage while dragging the chain with her. So the winner would be Candy Divine. I honestly don't remember.
I believe Candy Divine is the one with the robe. Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, we do. Is there running? Right.
Captain Lou is going to save the day.
Captain Luke comes in and hits a woman, and then like everybody hits the ring. That's what usually happens, right?
Oh, better yet, she could hit her. She could hit her with a record. Because she had a #1 album sometime around 84, 85, right?
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, as I say, perfect. Hit her, smash her with that record.
Either that or the Mario Bros should come out and hit him with a 3D.
I put in two of the names that I knew, Sherry Martel and Wendy Richter. And I'm not saying it'd be a good match, but I think those two could work something out, and Wendy would go over clean, and Sherry would throw a hissy fit afterwards and just be a big old bitch about it.
Well, I think Sherry Martel is awesome. I've always said there's about a couple dozen Sherry Martels running around Bay City, Michigan.
I don't think that's the only place.
No, there's a few other personalities too. Sherry Martel will fuck a dude up, man. So who's going over?
Miss Richter. Yeah. Nah, the blue one.
The one that's the trained wrestler.
Yes. So and I believe Sherry had some training, but like she wasn't known for her wrestling.
Well, her stuff against Luda Vachon was fun to watch, but she wasn't known as like a ring worker per se.
Yeah, but like she was with Mid-South, like way back in the day, like late 70s. And like I believe that's where she cut her teeth.
I'll have to go check that shit out. That sounds like a good it's a good watch.
I wanted violence. I wanted brawling. I wanted crazy. So I went with a falls count anywhere match between the two craziest guys I could find, Terry Funk and Jackie Fargo. And as far as I could tell, those two had never had a match in real life. And that is a damn shame because that would have been something.
Well, I think it's also worth mentioning that Terry Funk was in amazing shape in 1985. He was an absolute fucking unit.
And Jackie was on his way down, but still, those two would have brawled better than anybody else would have.
Word.
All I can think about is Stranglemania when I see Terry Funk, where he's like, he's got gyros in his knees. They spin out.
And I got Terry going over.
Punches people for real.
Well, that could have been a main event right there.
Yeah, but if it's a chin contest, then Sergeant Slaughter would have won hands down. Look at that chin.
Yeah, and this is 85 Randy. 85 Randy was still crazier than, 88 Randy.
85 Randy was probably still pitching fastballs at 85 miles an hour.
Probably.
So I have a Southern Death match, which is Big John Studd versus Austin Idol. Stipulation was no DQ, weapons legal. Finish was why did my stuff get all messed up? There's an interference by Tommy Rich. Stud fights him off. Powerbombs Rich through a table. But Idol smashes Stud in the knee with a cowbell, then hits Loaded Hand, aka Brass Knuckles, followed by a top rope elbow onto a chair. And Austin Idol would be the winner.
Hell yeah.
I think your match needs more cowbell. That's Idol.
Well, Big John Studd was
Yeah.
He was the man, right?
Big John, man, I heard a crazy story about Big John Studd. Like, I don't remember who was telling it, but Studd was one of the early guys to try HGH, and he was like in his late 30s and grew like 3 inches in height. And it's like, that's insane.
That is crazy. Austin Idol's wearing my hat. I just want to point that out. Oh, what did I got? Well, I also crave some violence. So I booked a 4-way street fight. And we got some heavy hitters on these rosters. So I did Terry Funk versus King Tonga versus Dusty Rhodes versus Abdullah the Butcher.
Now, I want to say, there was a match almost like that in Florida in like early 2000, I think. It was Funk, Dusty, Abdullah, and I want to say Kevin Sullivan. So it's just like when you said that, I'm just like, oh, that would have been a great match in '85.
Hey, we're missing Ming on the graphic, but I swear, guys, I booked him. But it's okay because I didn't book him to win, though. Of course, Terry Funk is winning because why wouldn't he, right? That's
I'm sorry.
And I think I was in my 40s when I learned that I don't know, he was kind of known as a fitness guy back in the day. It kind of shocked me a little bit because by the time I came across Terry Funk, he was in his 50s just haymakering people, but I guess he used to be a little bit of a fitness personality. Like Coach Terry.
Man, go look at Funk versus Ric Flair in '89. I think it was the year. Oh my God, is he ripped?
Right. He was in amazing shape back then. But yeah, Terry Funk goes over, and that's my violent mid card booking. Thank you. I really wanted to book something that I felt was unique that also spoke to my childhood. So I booked the Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair and Jumping Jim Brunzel versus the Pretty Young Things, Coco Beware and Norvell Austin. And I, even though they're absolute jobbers, I put the Killer Bees over because they actually had a little twin magic gimmick that they used to like to use because they looked essentially the same, right? So yeah, they cheat and they win. Cheat and win. Yeah, sure. Yes. Yeah. It's an interfederation title match, and the straps change hands. It's huge controversy. Revisionist history of wrestling in 1985. Oh, thank you.
All right. Just because I keep everything brutal. So we got a barbed wire tornado rules tag team match with the British Bulldogs versus the Fabulous Ones. Um, so the match is just going to be absolute carnage. All four men will be bleeding. Dynamite Kid hits a diving headbutt wrapped in barbed wire on Lane, but Eaton pulls the ref out. Kieran sprays hairspray and lighter fireball and Davy Boy's face, and then the Fabulous Ones hit a double flapjack onto the barbed wire on Dynamite for a pin, and the winners would be the Fabulous Ones.
That's awesome.
I don't think they were. I think it's just a picture, man. I don't think Ole would have been cool with that. I ain't putting over that midget.
I just saw him literally before we signed on because there's like a WCW like stream going right now on YouTube where they're playing a bunch of like old to Nitro to whatever, and the match was the Andersons. Again, I don't remember who it was, but that was the tail end that I caught was the Andersons, and then their promo.
Well, I too wanted more violence, but I wanted a different type of violence. I booked a last man standing match between the two biggest sets of bastards I could find with the Minnesota Wrecking Crew of Ole and Arn Anderson versus the British Bulldogs. And I Ole would not put those guys over, so they're going over with the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. But it would just be a hard hitting affair.
Indeed.
Yep. So I booked the two biggest. This was a dream match that sadly never happened. I put him in a steel cage, Bruiser Brody versus Hulk Hogan. And I would tell Brody, if Hogan ain't gonna job, make him. Because there was talk of Bruiser Brody coming in, but he didn't want to do the job for Hogan.
Bro,
So that didn't happen.
because who was putting the butts in the seats, man? I mean, let's be honest about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Come on.
don't think that was the right move either. But that's Brody was not going to put over Hogan, which is his choice.
I like the idea of a Hogan jobbing to Bruiser Brody, right? I don't know if Hogan would have ever made it to Puerto Rico for it to happen, but
that's very true.
Damn.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't. I don't think that'd be a great match. I'm sorry. Like Jesse, Jesse was a lot of entertainment. Jesse was great on the mic, but in the ring, Jesse could not really hang in a lot of cases. And Ric Flair can work a miracle, but I feel like that would be one of Ric Flair's broomstick matches where he got a good match out of somebody that generally couldn't.
So what you're saying, John, is this is more of a critique on Jesse Ventura than it is on our friend's matchup that he presented to us. Yeah,
Like I said,
yeah.
as a concept, this is great. But when the bell rings, don't foresee it going that well.
Yeah, he's quite the talker.
Is he inviting the aliens to the table?
He can.
Like I said, the interview between the two of them, the promos would be great. I'll give him that. Oh, absolutely.
So I have a territory death match between Hulk Hogan and Jerry Jarrett.
Wow.
No
Jerry
DQ. No Jerry. No D, no.
That's the blonde
No DQ, no count out, no time limit. So for the finish, Jarrett bleeds early. Targets Hogan's eye with a spike. CWA wrestlers interfere, but Hogan fights him off with a chair or with a chain and chair shots. Jarrett attempts a pile driver on a chair, but Hogan back body drops him. Hogan hulks up, hits the big boot, leg drop onto the steel chair, but Jarrett kicks out. Hogan then wraps a chain around his fist and hits one final punch, followed by a second leg drop through a table for the pin. Winner Hulk Hogan.
That's a piece
In which I would pay to see Hogan do a leg drop through a table.
I don't think that ever happened.
I don't think so either. I think the only Hogan that could have pulled it off was like New Japan Hogan.
Yeah, I want to say maybe once in Japan. That'd be the only thought process of when that would have happened.
Yeah, that would be the only one I could think of too.
Well, Japan Hogan could work, so
Yes.
Yeah, the tiny Japan tables that barely break, and you hit them, and you just bounce off. It goes, I am the table. Yeah.
So for my main event, I didn't check to see, but I just wanted to put a match together that I never would have thought happened in a million years. So after looking, I had to do double check, and it turns out that this is relevant for the feds that we're covering. My main event is Antonio Inoki versus Bruiser Brody.
Those two did not meet in Japan?
I don't know, but the thing that I did find out was because the way that I find my main events is that I look at the champions of a federation for that year, usually. And Antonio Inoki was actually listed as a WWE champion. But you know, when you look at WWE's records, they don't actually recognize it, even though he did win the title and he did relinquish the title. So that's why I chose him, right? And then I chose Bruiser Brody because, well, Bruiser Brody is like one of the hugest badasses in the history of the business. You know what I'm saying? And with all that being said, Bruiser Brody has to go over because Bruiser Brody's going over, guys. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's in the ring with him.
Well, Bruiser's going to do what Bruiser's going to do, whether you tell him to lose or not.
Yeah.
Or win. He's going to do what Brody's going to do. What Brody's going to do.
Right. Unless you're Invader, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, so yeah, that's my main event, and yeah, I gotta say, looking at all of our main events, some high profile matches. here.
Oh, yes.
I'm having.
I'm going for Eric's tag. The Bulldogs versus the Stan Lane and
I think Macho Man versus Sergeant Slaughter and Hulk Hogan versus Jerry Jarrett are both solid picks.
I think Justin's main event would just be fucking meat on meat, just banging the shit out of each other. So yeah.
Strong style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you have a choice to put some killers in some killer situations, then got to push the button.
I got 3-2 for Memphis.
I got 4-1 for Memphis winning.
I got 3-2 for WWF. Meth.
What was yours? You didn't say what yours was.
I think I might be looking at our tie guys in my head.
I actually have it wrong. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be hold on. WWF, WWF, NWA, WWF. It's 3-2 for WWF. I had it backwards on mine.
So then I think WWF won this one.
Puts them over. Ding ding. Right. Rock. So I do have a matchup picked for next time. I am going to do WWE 2025 against WWE 1992.
Interesting.
1992 is my favorite Royal Rumble of all time because of the star power on that card. So I have no doubt that that year's got some bangers in it. And I just want to see how they stack up against last year's roster. Well, I want to do last year's roster because, yeah, I wanted to make sure AJ Styles gets booked.
I had some honorable mentions I wanted to throw out there. I got a Armstrong stable versus the North South Connection and the Briscoe brothers. I thought Terry Gordy versus Andre the Giant would have been interesting, and Macho Man versus Magnum TA would have been fun.
Yeah.
No.
I don't have any honorable mentions. Can I do a shout out real quick? All right. Hey, everybody. The 40th Annual Review Music Awards is happening in the Great Lakes Bay region. And I want you to go ahead and hit up the site and vote for DJ Kit, Justin Edward, and Human Shield. Thank you very much.
Check out Wide Ranging Conversations with Rick and Eric on all podcast platforms. Next episode, we will be having Nick join us for talking about the movie Off Ramp. You can also go for the Review Magazine Awards and vote for Best Duo for Elemental P and Casey Marta. And check out Mark Reichert live on TikTok every night at 10 p.m. I'm on there sometimes. I think that's it. Yeah.
Everybody needs to watch Bandito versus Hunico. That match is amazing.
Shout out to my dog.